Today we are taking a first look, and maybe a second look, at SUPERVIVE's newest hunter, Eva, the Devilish Healer.
Try not to stare.
Eva is a support character that manipulates orbs and people to do her bidding, mixing damage and healing to keep her allies topped off and enemies on the ground. Let's get into her abilities. Starting off with her left mouse button, Corrupted Tether. This basic attack allows you to heal or damage enemies over time, assuming you stay in range of them. Think of it like Moira's Beam or Mercy's Beam in Overwatch. Here's a few things to note about this ability. The start of Corrupted Tether has a projectile that can be dodged, blocked, or missed, meaning some extra mobile targets can be extra hard to heal or damage. Next, the tether breaks when Eva loses sight of her target. However, it seems to check only every once in a while, so you can still dash behind pillars to stay attached. Additionally, it is super awkward in the Abyss, as it cannot lock onto targets a bit below or above her. Finally, her tether only uses mana when healing allies. If they are topped off or you're healing an orb, then it does not use any mana. Speaking of orbs, let's talk about Orbs of Argos, Eva's right mouse button. This is Eva's bread and butter ability on what helps her do damage and heal more. This ability will summon an orb that will fly out to your mouse position. These orbs do damage and gain HP when enemies are in them, and vice versa for allies, they will heal and shrink in size. Eva can also move these orbs with her Corrupted Tether. Some things to keep in mind with this ability is that orbs can be one or two shot by most hunters. Putting them behind walls or terrain can help you keep them safe. Eva will gain substantial movement speed when inside of them. If you already have two orbs alive and you cast another, the oldest orb will always be replaced. Additionally, the orbs can go up high ground or fly in the abyss. However, they cannot spike people, making her abyss fighting even worse. You can also use your orbs to help farm mob packs as they stagger and seemingly have no despawn range, making her probably one of the best mob farmers in the entire game. Combining your dash with your LMB can also help you move your orb quicker. I was told this is called walking the dog by the devs. Speaking of her dash, Eva's dash is named Sashay. I didn't know what Sashay is, so I looked it up.
Hi there, students. Let's see, to sashay is to walk in a very ostentatious, showy way.
And thank you, iswearenglish, for the informative insight. Sashay is a dash with a moderate CD and moderate distance. The cool thing about her dash is that it also gives an iframe for projectiles. There isn't a lot of cool things I discovered with this ability, just know that it is her main mobility and should be used consciously, otherwise you'll get caught out. Finally, her last basic ability, Beckon, which is her Q. This ability throws out a wave to your mouse location and then pulls back enemies, enemy wisps, and orbs. The key part about this ability is that it does go to your mouse location, so if you want a quick pushback, just put your mouse closer to yourself. Additionally, this ability can backfire if you bring in enemies that you may not want too close to you. You can also use this ability to push camps off the map to farm faster, and finally this ability also applies 4 seconds of anti-heal, which is super helpful in an Eva vs Eva battle. However, this ability paired up with Eva's ultimate, Sinner's Embrace, will create for some very interesting and perhaps overpowered combos. Eva's ultimate lobs a giant demon charged ball at a location that will only activate if an enemy is inside of the radius. If successfully landed, enemies inside will get tethered to the orb. If they leave that circle while the orb is still alive, they will get stunned for a long time and take big damage. Combined with Eva's Q Beckon, you can essentially stun an entire team and pull them towards you. Some things to keep in mind with using this ability is that the demon orb has a low HP and can be killed very quickly, so make sure you're ready to combo it with something else to push people out, or heal it with your Orbs of Argos or Tether. Additionally, you don't always need to throw it right on top of an enemy. Sometimes throwing it to make enemies on the edge can be better and catch them off guard with a stun. You can also throw the orb behind walls but still hit people so they can't shoot at the orb. Finally, this is an exceptional third-party tool as this ability has a pretty long range that can hit many different enemies. The more enemies that are hit, the higher HP the orb will have. Finally, let's talk about Eva's passive, Kiss of Death, also known as Step on Me. When Eva is standing on top of an enemy wisp, she is healed every second and her cooldowns begin to come back quicker. This seems like an insignificant passive, but I can assure you that it is very strong in very close skirmishing fights, assuming you can actually knock an enemy first. Something to note is that it also regenerates her ultimate very quickly, so you might even get multiple ultimates off in a fight if you are actually managing to step on people. Also, if you execute a wisp, it does still count as you standing on them for the full duration, meaning you can replenish your ultimate pretty much every time you execute, which is kind of crazy. And then finally, using her Q, you can pull in enemy wisps and step on them, or many of them at the same time. Let's talk about Eva's strengths and weaknesses. Eva's strengths are in her high and consistent healing output, her amazing burst zone control with her Beckon and ultimate, and also she's probably the best mob farmer in the entire game. On the contrary, her weaknesses can be a bit of a problem. Generally, Eva is probably the lowest mobility hunter in the entire game, so she's going to be pretty vulnerable to getting caught or being slow on rotations. Her orbs can be easy targets for some range characters to kill quickly, and she doesn't really have a passive until an enemy is already down. And finally, her abyss fighting and solo play is very low. I'm not going to go into too much depth with her items and level ups because I do think that I would just be spreading misinformation and I don't really know what's best. If I figure out something good after playing her, I'll put it in the pinned comment below. And then finally, when completing Eva's mastery missions, you can get really cool titles like Pet and Kitten and Dominator? Anyways, I'll be playing some Eva on my stream when she goes live at twitch.tv/RyanLemur. Come check it out. And also, if you enjoyed this type of video, give it a like or comment and I'll make one for the next hunter. Later, everyone.